Hey everyone on my channel, this video will stray away from my normal format of talking about autism or BPD. This time around is where I want to explain why I had to walk away from Hazbin being my special interest. And before we get into this, I'm not going to do a full deep dive of the whole entire show. Other YouTubers have done that at this point. And the other thing is, I'm still gonna like all the cosplayers and all the special artists that do like really well fan art of the show. But anyway, let's get back to the main point. Me criticizing the hell out of the show.
Wow, who wrote this?
It's great, right?
This sums up how I feel about the writing structure of the show. And before the Rabbit fans come at me to say, well, actually, you have no media literacy. I have seen some shows like Velma pull this off. And yes, I'm comparing this to Velma. Also, I know a lot of them are going to say you just want to hate it. I used to be a fan. I watched the pilot when going through my writing college classes, and I remember seeing all the fan music, including the Honeycast podcast. Blah, if I can talk. Plus, I have seen both seasons of Hazbin on Pride to give them a chance to see if they will fix the issues I had with season 1. But nope. Vizziepop wanted to speedrun through the story again. Back to my main point of season 1 is where I had issues with the story of wondering why Vizziepop didn't start with the world building and introducing us to the character because not everyone watches the Honeycast. Vizziepop has a hard time with show and not telling us. She really thinks we're incompetent, just like Charlie is in the second season. An example of a show with good writing is Avatar: The Last Airbender. How they handle the main characters dealing with war at hand, and them being teenagers, you think they would act irrational. But Avatar team does a good job of making them mature since they had to mature during the war and they had to react as an adult would. So imagine if they acted like Charlie or Emily by giving the Fire Nation gift baskets to make peace with them. Do you really think the Fire Nation would accept this? This is how I feel watching this scene. It would have been nice if one character would say out loud, "This isn't gonna work." But nope. All of them jump on board with the basket idea, which I was shocked Loot, out of all the characters, didn't say anything. Back to Hazbin Hotel, the main thing that ticked me off with season 2 is they show most of the characters' backstory. Wouldn't this have been a good idea to show in the first season? And then focus on the war while we're learning about these characters? You can't just shove a bunch of characters in a show only to speedrun their story, but not give us any information of why we should even care about them being in this hotel.
Ringleaders in his baseless blitzkrieg. You do more flip-flopping than the mayor during campaign season.
Another example is Monster High Ghouls Rules. Like, I had no idea who these characters were when I entered this movie, but the writers for Ghouls Rule did a good job exploring each character and helping me navigate which character is their own person. With Hazbin, I'm lucky to get a few words of dialogue of why I should care about each character to only have the writers speedrun their story. And it makes me more upset that this was Vizziepop's choice because season 2 was already greenlit.
Public. It's no, it's not funny anymore. When have I ever hit him?
How do you think us survivors felt about this joke being played out? Like, it's already bad enough she had someone who ships angel dust with Val to storyboard poison, and to those who haven't watched the show, Val reaps angel dust, and Velvet makes the drugs to help him do this. Was this mentioned in the show? Nope, I found out through a fan on the comments on Instagram.
Sounds like the writers are just phoning it in, but just in case, we better go check it out.
The other thing that bothers me was Val explaining that Charlie couldn't help him get out his deal through one line. Charlie is the princess of hell. Why the hell can she just not rip this deal apart? Do they ever explain away why she can't break this deal? No. It was really silly for season 2 to end with Alistair breaking his deal when we don't know how these deals are made in the first place. And you think the Princess of Hell could just have the authority to break the deal. And this is where my frustration comes in. Vizziepop. You can't expect people to take your show seriously when you don't take the writing structure seriously. You can't just speed run and jump through your character arcs and leave me with why should I care about these characters. I am moving on with Digital Circus where I feel an actual connection, and I am going to play a clip that perfectly sums up how I feel about this show. Bye!